All right, here are some application questions regarding how to find the volume of a cylinder, sphere, pyramid, and cone. The formulas are listed right up there, and you just have to apply them. Okay, so what I did is I color-coded the different formulas with the description in the question. So the first question is a cylinder question. So volume is pi r squared times h. It says how much liquid will fit into a cylinder with a radius of 6 and a height of 11. So you look at that formula that I wrote out, and you're going to plug in what you know. So you know that the radius is 6, so pi times 6 squared, and the height is 11. And then you just calculate that. So that would be 6 squared is a 36, so 36 times pi times 11. Let me put that in my calculator. 36 times pi times 11. I get about 124 or 1,244, and that's going to be inches cubed. All right, for the next one, it's a cone. It says how much liquid will fit in a cone with a radius of 7 and a height of 9. And so volume is 1/3 pi. The radius is 7, so I'm going to plug that in for r, and the height is 9. So I'm going to plug that in right there. Now let's simplify. 7 squared is 49, and a third of 49 is 16.3 repeating. So I'm going to say 16.3 repeating times pi times 9. I'm going to plug that in my calculator. In reality, you could just plug this in your calculator all at once. So you could plug that in your calculator, and it would produce the same as this, the same answer as this. I'm just going to plug this into my calculator. So I'm going to take that times pi times 9, and it gives me about 461.8, and that's going to be inches cubed again. All right, next we have a sphere. How much liquid will fit in a sphere whose radius is 4 inches? So here we just have to plug in 4 for the radius. So the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi times 4 squared, or 4 cubed, I mean. That should be a cubed right there. And so let's calculate that. So I got 4/3 times pi times 4 raised to the 3rd power. And I get 268 inches cubed. All right, back down here to the cylinder, another cylinder question. It gives me the volume in this case, and it asks me for the height of the cylinder. So let's plug in what we know. 502.4 is the volume, so I'm going to plug that in for V, equals pi times 4 squared times h. So I essentially have a one-step equation to solve here. I need to simplify first, though. So if I do that, I get 502.4 equals, and if I put this in my calculator right here, pi times 4 squared, I get 50.24 times h. Now, I know there's decimals here, but just think of this as a one-step equation. If I want to solve for h, I need to get rid of the 50.24. It's being multiplied right now, so I need to divide both sides by 50.24. And when I do that, I just have h left on the right side, and this is going to be 10. So that means the height of that cylinder is 10, and it's centimeters, 10 centimeters. All right. Find the volume of a sphere whose diameter is 18 feet long. So careful, giving you the diameter here, but in the formula, you need the radius. Do you remember the relationship between diameter and radius? The diameter is the whole way across the circle going through the center. The radius is just half that distance. So when you plug in the formula here, volume equals 4/3 pi r, this should be cubed, and the radius is not 18, the radius is 9, right? So that's what you're going to plug in your calculator. When you plug it in your calculator, what you could do, because you have a fraction here, you could plug in 4 times pi times 9 cubed and divide by 3. That would be a good way of plugging it into your calculator, and you should get 3,052.08 cubic feet for your answer for the volume there. All right, lastly, we have a cone, and we need to find the radius this time. Okay, this will be interesting. So, same formula, volume equals 1/3 pi r squared, and I'm going to plug in, my volume is right there, so I'm going to plug that in for V. So 113.04 equals 1/3 times pi times r squared. Oh, I forgot the h here, times h, that's in the original formula. So, and then I need to plug that in here too, and the height's 12. So 1/3 pi r squared h is the formula. So I have the height and I have the volume, but I do not have the radius. I need to solve for this radius. So let's simplify what we can on the right-hand side of this equation. What we can simplify on the right is 1/3 times pi times 12. Let's clump those together through multiplication and see what we get. When I multiply 1/3 and pi and 12, I get 12.566 times r squared. 113.04. Okay, so again, I have this now, and it's really just a, I guess in this case, a two-step equation, okay? I'm trying to solve for r. I need to get rid of the coefficient of r squared, and then I can deal with the squared after that, which will be a good review for a lot of us. So let's divide by 12.566 on both sides. And when I do that, I get about 9, 8.995, but I'll just round it to 9. 9 is r squared. Is that my answer? I want the radius. I have r squared. How do I cancel out a square? Hopefully you're thinking square root. You square root both sides to cancel out a square. So then r will equal the square root of 9, which is 3. So the radius of that cone will be 3 inches long. Okay, hopefully those are some helpful application questions. I posted a practice in Schoology in the folder for today. I just want you to do problems 5 through 11 and check the key. Problems 5 through 11 and check the key. There's no Schoology quiz to fill out or anything. This is just on you. Go ahead and do the practice, check the answers, and make sure that you understand. And if you don't, or even if you do, you're welcome to check in, and happy to talk with you guys in conference with you if you need anything. All right? Hope you're well. See you next time.